Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. If you haven't met me before, then my name's Ash and I'm a mum of two. I've been making videos over here on YouTube for about 6 years now, which is crazy. And it all started back when I was pregnant with my son Charlie, and I wanted to document all of the pregnancy, the birth, and then after that it all became family vlogs and so on and so forth. But we started way back at the beginning with Charlie, who is now going to primary 1, and I cannot believe it. And I thought it'd be worthwhile sharing 10 tips with you of things I think any new school parent should know before putting their kid into primary school. And if you are not a parent yourself with a kid starting primary school this year, and this video isn't for you, but maybe you do know somebody who has a kid starting primary school, then please share this video with them, because you never know, there might be something in there that could really change the game for them. Okay, so tip number 1 I was going to share with you, and actually a lot of you guys on Instagram, especially school teachers, said this as well, and that is do not overhype your kids. I know it's so tempting to do this, and it almost feels like it's been a bit of a tradition over the years. Like, I remember the same thing happening to me when I was younger, but parents or grandparents, other family members, neighbours, everything will do that whole thing of, oh, who's starting primary 1 this year? You're going to primary 1? Oh, and who's your teacher going to be? Oh, you're going up to the big school? All that kind of stuff. And it's obviously done with best intention. No one's trying to scare the kids, but in their minds it's probably getting like really overhyped. And actually what can then happen is they build up to the big day, and then sometimes it can end in tears. I think for me as well, because Charlie's primary school and the nursery are pretty much in the same ground, and all the kids from his nursery class are all going to go in primary 1 together, I've pretty much sold it to him as it's like nursery but you're wearing a uniform. So, and the thing is, in primary 1 they are doing a lot of learning through play anyway, so I think for me it's been easier to do that whole transition from nursery to primary school by just saying to them that they're going in for a bit longer, they wear a uniform and they're in a new room, rather than the big hype of you're starting primary 1, oh it's so exciting, all that kind of stuff, which I know comes from a good place. And I would also definitely say have that chat with like parents, family members, and like I say, everyone does it with best intention, but sometimes it can then fall flat in its face on the day. And I think especially as parents, if you're nervous for your kids starting school, they feed off of that as well. So I definitely think it's worthwhile playing it down a lot if you can do, and especially if they're already going with their classmates from nursery, that makes a big difference as well. It's just nursery but with uniform. And speaking about uniform, this brings me to my second tip. If you can right now, start building on their independence. So that's things like getting them dressing themselves, taking their own jumpers on and off, taking their shoes off and putting them away, all that kind of stuff. Build on their own independence. Toileting is one of the biggest ones. If your kid requires a lot of assistance when they're in the toilet, try and work on that now, because a teacher with a class of what, sometimes 31 kids, can take each of them to the toilet. So I would definitely try your hardest to get them more independent in the toilet before they start primary school. And the next thing as well, this is such an oversight and I've seen so many times, I even did it when the kids were in nursery, but shoes, get them shoes they can put on themselves. See, unless your kid can do laces confidently and quickly, don't get them laces for school. Your teacher would probably tell you to not bring them back in those shoes anyway. Do not get laces for your kids. Like, it's so hard. You normally see shoes and think they look really nice, I'll put them on them for school, but you need slip on or you need velcro. Any shoes that don't require fastening with laces are a winner in primary 1, especially because most of the class will have slip-on or velcro shoes anyway. You don't want your kid, if they can do their laces, be straggling along at the end doing their laces when all the other kids have ran out to play. And also the trip hazard as well speaks for itself, so definitely shoes that slip on or attach with velcro are the way forward, especially for gym as well. Always use velcro shoes or slip-on shoes for school. Tip number 3 is to get the nighttime routine sorted, get it nailed. Try and do everything a bit earlier. Honestly, see, when your kids come out of school, especially after the first week, they are going to be so exhausted that they'll need their bedtime to be early anyway. So see if you can start that now, it makes all the difference. With the kids, I've been doing that like 2 weeks before they start school, just so that we have a full clear week before they start where they're fully in their routine, they're having an earlier dinner and they're getting to bed at a reasonable time. The other thing is as well, when they do finish school, they're tired, they're so exhausted after a long day, and one of the best things you can do is have a good after school routine. So maybe at like 4 o'clock get them to sit down with a snack, chill out and watch something, and something that's not like really super engaging and makes them hyperactive like a lot of the things that they can watch. I mean, my kids do have a fair selection of those types of things they watch on YouTube or on their tablets or on the TV, and I think something that makes them more zen, a bit more chilled out is definitely what you want to do. And if you're looking for something for them to watch, I would recommend BIBI and Tina. BIBI and Tina is a YouTube channel. You can watch all of their episodes for free. You can stream them on the tablet, you can project them onto your TV or sign into YouTube on your TV and watch them, and you can also watch them on your phone as well. So it's something the kids can be really fully engaged in without it being really hyper. So BIBI and Tina are two girls, they're into horse riding, and BIBI is actually a witch. So that isn't the main part of the stories on the shows. It's mostly between the friendship of BIBI and Tina. They're both teenagers, but the stories are really gentle and they're relaxing, and it follows them with their horses going big treks and adventures. And as much as the stories are based on animals, they're also based on detective work as well. Both Ella and Charlie end up gripped on it. And also they've just launched radio play as well, so if your kids really enjoy audiobooks then this is perfect for them. For me, we have actually had audiobooks, I mean I don't even know when we started them, probably since the kids were babies to be honest. Like they've always listened to audiobooks in the evening. So we've got two sort of smart devices in their rooms, and when we do our bath, book and bed routine, I don't really like to leave them in silence. I think it's actually nicer for them to sit and drift off when they're listening to something.
So what is BIBI going to do with herself now? She rides around in circles a few times, then decides to slowly make her way back to the Martins' farm, where she starts to take the saddle off Sabrina.
Back into the stable, Sabrina. That's it for today.
So they're quite used to that, and I think if you're struggling to get your kids to go to sleep, especially if it's earlier in the evening, then putting an audiobook almost feels like it's not as harsh as just putting them to sleep. So using the radio play episodes as well is really good. So I'll show you all the links in the description if you want to listen to them as well.
I was close though. What's your name?
I'm Connie.
It makes her heart beat faster.
Nico's told me he brought some wild horses.
So definitely check out BIBI and Tina if you haven't already heard of the channel. I'll leave it linked in the description box. And like I say, routine is so important, and everyone always goes on about that routine, but it doesn't need to be difficult. Can I tell you the biggest tip you can ever take from any of my videos talking about routine, and actually I need to take my own advice sometimes, is make sure that you do as much the night before that you can. Like anything you can do on an evening, do it, because it almost feels like 5 minutes in the morning is like half an hour, and 5 minutes at night time is like no time at all. So if you can get all the outfits organised, your own included, get all your outfits organised, put them over the banister or put them somewhere that's easy to just grab and go. So I normally get my outfit organised, both the kids' uniforms ironed and set out, pants, socks, everything all ready to go, shoes next to them, so that literally all they're doing in the morning is getting up, getting a quick wash and then getting changed again, and then that's them ready for the full day. Also having things like their lunches made as much as possible the night before, have their bags in the car if you can, like all these little tiny things that make such a difference. It means you're not shouting at them in the morning, grab your bag, get your stuff. It's not a stressful morning if you can do as much the night before as possible. Nail the mummy routine. The morning routine doesn't need to be super complicated. For me, all I do is I get myself dressed, so washed and dressed, bed's made, breakfast made, and I empty my dishwasher. It's only 4 tasks that I make sure are done in the morning, and it means I'm not leaving a mess behind. And honestly, that's all you have to do. Nail the evening routine and nail the morning routine, and honestly things will be so much smoother. So tip number 5 is make sure you label absolutely everything. You're about to send your kid into school with everyone with the exact same clothes as them, near enough the same size of clothes as them. Make sure that everything is labelled. For me, I absolutely love the Stamptastic stamper. I got this when Ella started school and it's amazing. Do you know what's really good about it is that of course you can use a biro pen and just write your child's name on it, or you can use iron-on strips and all this kind of stuff, but if you use the Stamptastic one, it goes through like 500 washes or something like that before it actually starts to fade. It is so good, and I've got that for Ella. You can get them made with their name on it and a little logo or like a little unicorn I think she's got. but you can get them made and you can use the stamper so many times, so definitely worth a look if you're looking to get your kids' names on all their clothing. This idea is super cute. If you've got a kid who is a bit nervous about going to school themselves and they've already expressed they're a bit nervous, or maybe you have a hunch that they're going to be nervous come the big day, get yourself a pen and draw a heart on their hand or a smiley face, let them pick, and then draw one on your hand or get them to draw your one on. And any time through the day when they feel a little bit nervous or they miss you, they can press the heart and tell them that you can feel it too. So it just keeps you guys connected. That also came from a teacher, so I think that's a really good bit of advice for new starters. Tip number 7, don't overpack their stuff. Don't overbuy. See the amount of stuff that I bought for Ella starting primary 1, it was so unnecessary. I think I checked back the pencil case, she had highlighters. What's she highlighting? She had loads of different pens and pencils and rubbers and sharpeners and all the colouring in pencils. She had all the stuff. She had jotters, diaries, notebooks, so much stuff in her backpack, and actually she needed none of it. Obviously check with your school, but I think generally around where we stay, most of the schools provide all of the stuff. And actually what is some good advice is if you were looking to get something a bit more robust, then buy one of those homework folders, you know, like the big sort of A4 folders that sort of folds down at the front and it's got a handle on top. They're really good. That's what I've bought for the kids this year, because the plastic homework folders can sometimes rip. So if you're looking to buy something else, definitely the A4 folio case is a much better idea than buying a huge school bag that's double the size of them. A few little things that I recommend you buy: obviously Stamptastic stamper was really good for us, a smaller school bag, a folio case. This here is a great idea, and this is my one actually, but see these insulated double walled water bottles, they are so good, especially in the hotter months. So this one here is from a company called Show, that you can get all different ones. These ones I can actually get them engraved with the kids' names on them. They are a bit more pricey, but they keep the water so cold. Ella's got this one in a darker pink and it has her name on it, and I noticed as soon as she started taking it to school, she drank way more water, and I think it's because it's cold. You can also buy these attachments for them for the spout, which makes it easier. Usually they have just a bottle cap, but this is so much better. This one I got from Amazon. You can definitely go and purchase them just now, but it makes a huge difference. This one is actually a 500ml bottle. You can get them smaller, but this is a better size, and this also fits in the side pocket of a school bag for the sports bottle. An insulated bottle for school though is definitely a winner. The plastic ones heat up, the water goes a bit disgusting. This stays cold for 24 hours. If you want to get any hot drinks in this for yourself for the school run, maybe like a cup of tea or a coffee in here, then it keeps your coffee and your tea warm for 12 hours. So definitely worth going and getting a few of these for the kids, especially if you get their name on it. If again it goes walkabouts, they're going to know who it belongs to. So tip number 9, if you've got a kid starting school, I would definitely recommend picking them up and having a nice snack for them. When they come out of school, they're so hungry, like I can't even explain. They've just used so much energy running around, they're tired, they're a bit weary. So if you bring them a nice small snack for pickup, it just cheers them up so much, especially for my two. I've noticed it, and I've spoken to other mums and they do the same. And also expect them to come out and literally hand you the bag straight away. They don't want to know their backpack after day 1. As soon as you pick them up and drop them off, you will always be holding that backpack. So for sure, make sure that you're ready to take the bag off them and give them a snack, because when they come out they are a bit hangry, they're tired, and giving them something nice to have to look forward to. It's a bit like positive reinforcement when they come out from school, so I would definitely recommend having something nice for them to snack on while they're heading home. I feel like I have so many more of these, but I'll just save 10 for this video, and if you do want another one then you can let me know. But my last tip for you is, if possible, try and meet up with the kids they're starting school with before you start school. So in the summer holidays, try and have at least one play date with the kids that they're going to be starting school with. I know if you're maybe moved house or you're in a new area, or if your kids' nursery friends are no longer going to be moving up with them to primary 1, it's probably going to be a bit more tricky, but if you can, try and get your kids to have a play date with someone in school. It just makes it so much more comfortable and easy knowing that they've got a friend and a familiar face when they start in primary 1. Lucky for me, Charlie's starting with like a really big massive group of them, all from nursery, which makes a big difference. I think it is worthwhile reaching out to the school and asking if there's any groups that you can be a part of, so that you can maybe speak to some of the parents. I don't know about you guys, but we have some Facebook groups and WhatsApp groups set up with other parents, so that if anyone's out and about and wants to meet for a play date at a park, then we can do that. And it's just really good for the kids to have friendships that they're making within class, also flourishing out with class as well. So it's really good for them to have a familiar face and a friend to start their school journey with, So guys, I really hope you enjoyed listening to this and it was helpful. And if you have a primary school starter this year, I really hope that they're looking forward to it and everything goes smoothly for their first day in primary school. If you'd like to see a part 2 of this video, like seeing my evening routine, live in motion when we're back in school, or tips on how to build their confidence, then please do let me know. I've got quite a few of you guys who are teachers who also like to give some advice, so we can also share some of that on here as well. But thank you so much for watching and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye!